In 1951, Harley Earl and his crew started working on a brand new GM sports car. Project name, Opal. Welcome to Tail Fins and Chrome. As I rolled into the show in my 1970 Impala, I was given a spot right in the midst of all these Corvettes. From vintage to just driven off the lot, Corvette fanatics gathered to raise money to find a cure for breast cancer. The project name Opal was the Corvette. This automobile changed the body lines of cars forever. And today, everybody's here for breast cancer awareness and to raise awareness and funds, and we're going to talk to them. Come with me. I am fortunate enough to be standing next to Doreen Hernandez, and she is responsible for today. And I want you to tell us why everybody's here and what's going on.
Well, I'm not the only person responsible for today. We have a team. We walk for the Making Strides event, and my team is the Rack Pack. And all of the Rack Pack was responsible for today's event. We all pitched in and made it a great event. Who would have thought that a Corvette, buying a car, would make such good friends and make a difference in your life? Today's event is about making a difference and making the world with more birthdays and less breast cancer.
And today, obviously, there's a ton of Corvettes out here. Everybody's just here for a really good cause. And at the end of the day, what are you hoping for?
Well, I'm hoping to raise a lot of money and just for everybody to have a great time.
How many Corvettes would you say are here right now?
I'd say we have close to 100 Corvettes.
Okay, and why did you choose the Corvette to represent this?
Well, my husband and I bought a Corvette in 2008, and it has changed our life. We made such good friends. The people who own Corvettes are warm and wonderful.
I've experienced that so far. Everybody's been really, really nice.
They're a lot of fun.
And you've also been kind enough to let in other cars that aren't Corvettes.
Oh yes, the hot rods are here.
The hot rods are here. I found this amazing 1961 black Corvette.
Well, I got attracted to it up at swap meet up at Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And it just happened to coincide with my graduation with my Bachelor of Arts degree, and I was 65 years old. So this is really my graduation present.
It's a nice graduation present.
Yeah.
Tell me how you just keep it so pristine. I mean, did you put it together or did you buy it like this?
I've done about 75% of it to it. And it's of course, a car of this caliber is never finished.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you're always working on these, making them, better, cleaner, whatever it might be. Kind of the unique thing about this, though, it's a 61, and it's got the convertible top and the optional hardtop, correct?
Yes.
And so, do you have to do this in the morning and be like, all right, what am I going to do today?
No, the hardtop's been hanging from my ceiling in my garage for about 6 years. I'm going to put it on. I never put the soft top down. So.
No, okay.
I made 7,049, I think. Or that's a close guess. It's a 283 cubic inch, 270 horsepower with a solid cam and solid lifters. 2 4s, the 4-speed, and 370 positive traction in the rear.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing I love about, especially this year of the Vet, are, the body lines on this are just so amazing. They're just beautiful. And this to me is, represents the quintessential body style this year. It's just amazing. And so, Rich, thanks a lot for joining us on Tail Fins and Chrome, and thanks for sharing your Corvette with us. It's time for the pit stop with Pilot Automotive. Here's something cool from Pilot. I like to call it the best of both worlds. Floor mats. You have your elegant carpet on the top, but you can pull them apart, and you have rubber in case you want to go off-roading. How do Corvettes conquer cancer? Find out after this break. We travel coast to coast to show you all things automotive. If you have an interesting story about the history of your car, let us know.
When I told Jake what I was picking out for this week's episode of Future Classics, he was making fun of me. He said I was getting lazy and wasn't being very original. Of course the Corvette's a classic, but Jake couldn't tell me why. Well, this week, we're going to find out why. Currently in its 6th generation, the new Corvette has more performance, more power, and packs more fun than any of the Corvettes before it. The 2010 Corvette comes standard with a 430 horsepower LS3 V8. But for those of you that it's just not enough, they make a ZR1 Corvette. The 2010 Grand Sport that we're in now has everything any other luxury car would. Air conditioning, GPS, paddle shift transmission, even heated seats. The Chevrolet Corvette's been an American icon for over 50 years. And if they keep making them the way this car is, it'll be an American icon for another 50 years, making this a future classic.
Want to see more? Go check out tailfinsinChrome.com. I feel like I'm on the Starship Enterprise. I just boldly went where hardly anybody's gone before. Okay, I'm back. If I've said it once on the show, I've said it 100 times. I love side pipes. And I wanted to come over and talk to you about your car here. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I do love the side pipes, but I also love the color scheme. The green and the beige or brown on the inside. Tell me about it.
Well, it's had a restoration back in 1989, full restoration, frame off. I'm the 13th owner, believe it or not. Car had 78,000 miles on it when it went for full restoration. And hard to believe, but 99% of the original parts are all still on the car after all those owners. And I've got registrations from every owner from the beginning.
So Tony, you kind of know the beginning to the end on this one. And what are some of the stats on it as far as how many they made and like some of the engine information, that sort of thing?
Well, this one's got a 327, 300 horsepower. This was the standard basic engine in it. Of course, they made more of these than anything. They're about, I think, 6,000 of that engine. I forget how many coupes were made in '67. I think it's in the 6,000 or 7,000 range. '67 was the least amount of this style, the C2 style, that was built in the 5 years that this model was built. So 67s are the rarest, actually.
I mean, and the cockpit in this vehicle is amazing, man. It's just so cool. Yeah, you're looking there. It's just
yeah,
lots of gauges and chrome, and you know, what are we looking at in here? Like what's?
Well, it has a standard gauge package with oil temperature, water temperature, amperage, speedometer, tachometer, clock.
Have you had AC in here?
This is aftermarket AC. That's one of the only things I've really changed on this car from the original.
Can I tell you that's a smart idea?
Yeah, it is in Florida.
Especially on a day like today. No, yes. We just didn't go swimming. It's really hot, right?
You bet.
Now tell me the color. What is the official name of the color of this?
This is called Goodwood Green. Corvettes, Chevrolet Corvette division always named all their cars after racetracks. And Goodwood is a racetrack up in England. So that's why the Daytona color and so forth, and Riverside Red, those are all names that they used for racetracks, and that was the theme.
I hope everybody at home was paying attention, because that's a good trivia question. Goodwood Green. If you haven't heard of Corvettes Conquer Cancer, I'm going to introduce you to Ben, and I want you to tell me about this.
Okay. Corvettes Conquer Cancer was my wife's idea when she found out that the cancer she'd been living with for 26 years wasn't going to give her much more time. We'd been Corvette people that most of that time, and she'd been a volunteer for the American Cancer Society that entire time. So when she found out the cancer was back in the lymph system in late '97, she said, "This is not a good thing. As soon as we're done with this round of treatment, and while I'm still able to, I'm going to sell the '63 Vet that we'd had for 21 years, get a C5, and go to as many of the major national Corvette events around the country as possible." We started off with that '97 over there. We got 2 years on the road, all the way to California and back before she died in 2000. I've continued since, ended up putting 201,000 miles on that '97 through 48 states. In '06, a friend of mine took it upon himself to do a fund drive to buy this 2006 C6 to replace the '97, which was getting high mileage, and so I could continue. It was presented to me at the National Corvette Museum by Dave Hill, the chief engineer. We immediately auctioned the old one right on the spot with the stipulation that the high bidder would write 2 equal checks, one to the American Cancer Society and one to the National Corvette Museum. Then I sold them the car for this $1.
Aha!
With their autographs on it.
I want to talk about the engine and the signatures here. I guess on one side you have some racers' signatures, and the other side is who?
Right. This side, the driver's side, is mostly Corvette racing people, but with some other people that were involved in the purchase, and even the people that bought the old car have their signatures there. The other side is all the GM people who designed, engineered, built, and market the car.
What else do you like about this particular Vet compared to maybe any other one?
These are such incredible utility vehicles. As a matter of fact, I've been looking for the appropriate lettering so I can put the chrome letters, SSUV, Super Sport Utility Vehicle, because of what I can carry in this thing. The trunk is incredible.
Would you mind popping it open for us? Now again,
of course, a lot of it's out front now. It still looks like it's full, doesn't it? All that stuff and the tent came out of here.
Whoever said there's no room in a Corvette? I noticed there's a lot of signatures underneath of the hood here. What is this all about?
For a minimum $25 donation to the American Cancer Society, you can sign the underside of the hood and be a permanent part of this mission that we're on.
Well, Ben, I think I have no choice but to participate in this, so I'm going to go ahead and donate so I can sign.
Okay.
And I'll be very proud to have my name up there.
Very good.
When we come back, we're going to talk to Richard Fleming, who bought Ben's original Corvette. Don't go anywhere. Want to see more? Go check out tailfinsandsandchrome.com. It's time for the pit stop with Pilot Automotive. If you want your ride to stand out from everybody else's, Pilot offers LED lights that you could put almost anywhere. They're super thin, easy to install, and really, all you do is peel and stick. I get asked all the time, what makes Tail Fins and Chrome different than every other car show on television? It's simple. People. We focus on the human interest side of car collecting, the stories behind the cars and the people who own them. If you know anyone that has an interesting story and a really cool car, let us know. Welcome back to Tail Fins and Chrome. I am talking to Richard Fleming. Now, he bought Ben's 1997 Corvette that's sitting right behind us. Richard, I want you to tell me about it.
Well, I had a similar experience as Ben in that I lost my wife to cancer about 3 months after he lost Sandy. I have another Corvette that I've spent several shows with Ben and with this car, with the 97 car, which now has 203,000 miles on it, which I still drive every day, not every day, but most days.
Yeah.
And so we've been to several shows together, and when this car came up for sale, after spending 2 years in the National Corvette Museum, unknown to Ben, I bought it and surprised him. And so now whenever we get an opportunity, we reunite the two cars at cancer fundraising events.
That's so cool that you guys are able to hook up and be friends and spend a beautiful day like this out raising money for a cure for cancer.
Now, I'm amazed that with 203,000 miles, I think this car will outrun my other one that only has 30,000 miles on it.
Well, I think the mileage on these automobiles is pretty impressive because honestly, a lot of people, after they hit 100, they go, I think I'm bored of this car, right? And so, but you guys have put on a lot of miles for a cause, which is awesome. Richard, you told me 203,000 miles. I really want to know, what type of engine is this? How many times have you changed the tires and things like that?
It's a stock 350 cubic inch Corvette engine. as far as during its lifetime, the only major thing I really know that has been done to it is that the transmission has been replaced on it, but otherwise the motor has not been touched, still running very strong. Tires, I'm not sure because Ben had the car a good portion of its lifetime, but I'm imagining it's probably on its 4th or 5th set of tires by now. Now, if you really put your foot into it, then you can go through tires pretty quickly. Oh, he says 9 times.
9 times the tires on this car have been changed, so the tire manufacturers must love you guys.
They absolutely do.
And what's the official color of this car?
It is a torch red.
Torch red. It's really, really sharp. There are a ton of Corvettes here at this event today, and as a matter of fact, I would say most of them are stock. But I had to turn around and talk to this gentleman about this automotive creation because this is amazing. It's got a wing, it's got Lambo-type doors. Steve told me this was a replica GTP Corvette, originally imported from England. Rick Hendrick of Hendrick Motorsports brought them in the mid-'80s, and they had a lot of notoriety. It originally came with a turbocharged V6 engine, and then later changed to a naturally aspirated V8. Steve also told me that he believes only 2 are still campaigning on the historical racing circuit at this time. So there's a strong chance that if you go to any Corvette show or any car show in general, the chances of you seeing something like this are pretty thin.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about this engine.
Well, it's a Chevrolet Performance 383 stroker motor. We put a first fuel injection system on it, and it's matched up with a Audi 5-speed transaxle, so we get a manual 5-speed in this configuration.
It's just a good-looking engine. I mean, what year is it?
Well, this is a brand new crate motor.
Oh, okay.
So it's a 2008. Since we've been building it for 2 years, but it is latest technology.
And that's the cool part about this is I think anybody that would walk up to this beautiful piece of art, they'd probably go, well, you can't drive it on the street, and meanwhile, you can.
There it is. Yep, it's licensed and ready to go.
If you want to see more cars like this, go to our website at tailfinsandchrome.com. More Corvettes right after this short break. We travel coast to coast to show you all things automotive. If you have an interesting story about the history of your car, let us know.
Hey guys, I'm Slick. Today's Slick's trick, we all have it happen to us, busted windows. On the older cars, you have a weather stripping that goes around your window. And there's a way you can get around putting it in yourself, and we're going to show you how to do that today. You get your glass delivered to you first. You want to put your weather stripping around the whole edge of the window. This is Dwayne, and he's going to help show us how we get this done. Take the rope, you slide it where the track would be for the window to slide into, and you meet it back here at the bottom in the middle. You want to make sure it's nice and snug all the way around. Lift up the window. It's best to have a buddy. Once you set it in place, give it a slight tap. When you're sure that you have it pretty much centered in position, you want to come on the inside right here. As he pulls it out, you push slowly back on the rubber to make sure it stays in place. Once it's in place, don't let it fool you. Sometimes it's just about ready to pop back out. So once you hold it in place and you slightly tap on it. And that's today's Slick trick.
We're the cooks and we love tail fins and chrome.
Hi, my name is Tommy. This is my wheels and this is my story. This is my Corvette 2007 Z06. It's 505 horsepower, 470 pounds of torque. It's pretty much a street legal race car. The car came out in 2006, and it's just a race car that you can use on the streets. I mean, the car's awesome. The Z06 will do 0 to 60 in about 3.4, 3.5 seconds, and quarter mile time probably about 11.3, 11.4. One of the fastest Corvettes that GM's ever produced. This is my 11th Corvette, and they keep getting better with each one. This is just like the greatest thing out there. It's an American icon. It's just a great-looking car. It's performance-oriented. It's styling. It handles. It's just everything about the car. It's just a great car to own. And dollar for dollar, it's probably the best sports car in the world.
We'd like to thank everybody that participated in Corvettes for the Cure, and especially Corvettes that Conquer Cancer. And we'd especially like to thank Chuck for frying the tires. We'll see you next time on Tail Fins and Chrome. Thanks, man. This is cakewalking. Not yet. All right, so apparently the key to winning is wearing like a feathered bra. Next time.
We love Tail Fins and Chrome, and we watch it every week. And we follow the antique car circuit all the time. Mostly we always wanted to meet Jake in person and hoped we'd run into him.
And I tell you, the interesting thing is I always get asked to sign stuff that's really hard to sign, like a hat or a hood of a car or something. But hey, thank you.